Unlocking the ancient Amazonian secret to soil that lasts forever. So what if I told you there's a way to build soil so fertile it can feed crops for generations without losing its power? Not just for a year, not even just for a decade, but for over 2,000 years of fertility still thriving today. Deep in the Amazon rainforest, ancient farmers discovered a method to turn weak, nutrient-poor ground into soil so rich that it still supports crops centuries later. This wasn't just luck, it was a deliberate, brilliant system that, honestly, modern gardeners like us can recreate right in our own backyards. Why is ancient Amazonian soil unlike any other? Well, the Amazon might look like paradise on the surface, but the natural soil underneath is far from it. Most of it is acidic, sandy, and unfortunately quickly stripped of nutrients after only 1 or 2 harvests. That's why traditional slash-and-burn farming left patches barren so fast. Yet, scattered across the rainforest, scientists discovered dark, crumbly soil that totally defied the rule. This soil, called Amazonian black earth, didn't deplete with time, instead it actually grew stronger. So, what's the secret? Well, ancient people actually engineered it on purpose. They took everyday waste and mixed it with a special ingredient that acted almost like a permanent foundation. The end result was this living soil system that could hold on to water, lock in nutrients, and give microbes, the real heroes of fertility, a perfect place to thrive. There's this hidden power of carbon in the ground. And what made this black earth so unique wasn't just the nutrients, but really its stability. Right at the heart of the recipe is charcoal, which we now call biochar. Unlike ash, which just washes away after the first rainfall, charcoal has this porous structure that works almost like a sponge. It holds onto water, clings to minerals, and maybe most importantly, offers all these tiny apartments for beneficial microbes to move in. These microbes turn dead matter into plant food. They team up with roots, recycle nutrients, and create a system that keeps renewing itself instead of running out. That's why Amazonian black earth is still alive after 2,000 years. It's really a permanent collaboration between carbon and microbes. So, how do you recreate Amazonian super soil at home? The beauty of this ancient trick is honestly its simplicity. You don't need exotic ingredients or expensive inputs. You can actually make it using what's already around you. You just start by adding biochar to your compost. The microbes in the compost will colonize the charcoal, turning it into living carbon before it even touches the soil. A simple recipe looks like this. So, to make your own super soil, just mix 1 part crushed charcoal with 4 parts organic matter, like food scraps, crop residues, or even manure. Let that compost as you normally would until it's all fully broken down. Then, you can work this enriched mix right into your garden beds. If you'd rather apply it as a liquid, you can actually brew a microbial biochar tea. For this, you'll want to use 1 kilogram of finely ground charcoal mixed into 10 liters of water and then stir in 2 liters of mature compost. Just leave it to steep for about 1 week, making sure to stir it daily. Before you apply it to your soil, go ahead and dilute it with an equal amount of water, which gives you a balanced 20 liters of inoculated biochar tea. This step is really important because it ensures that, when it hits your garden, it's already alive with microbes that are just ready to get to work. Microbes are really the true magic here. While charcoal provides the structure, it's the microbes that bring life to the whole system. Every pinch of this black earth is just packed with thriving colonies of bacteria, fungi, and all sorts of other microscopic allies. The charcoal, well, it protects those microbes while the organic matter feeds them, and together they form a nutrient cycle that honestly doesn't just wash away with the rain. Some microbes even go a step further and create partnerships with plant roots, trading minerals for sugars in a relationship that really boosts both sides. What's even more astonishing is that, in these ancient soils, this whole microbial network actually spread outward over time, slowly transforming poor soils nearby into fertile ones. In other words, once you start building this kind of soil, it can keep expanding its richness, season after season. So there are a few lessons that modern gardeners can really take to heart here. The first lesson is that long-lasting fertility comes not from quick fixes, but from building ecosystems. Synthetic fertilizers might give your crops a short boost, but they don't actually feed the soil itself. By focusing on microbes, you're in effect creating a renewable source of nutrition that supports plants indefinitely. The second lesson is all about permanence. Compost alone eventually breaks down, leaving nothing behind. But when you pair it with biochar, you create a soil structure that, honestly, can endure for centuries. Instead of depleting with time, your soil just gets stronger and richer. And then, the third lesson is sustainability. Ancient farmers recycled everything: food scraps, fish bones, broken pottery, you name it. Nothing was wasted and every material had a role in building fertility. So, for us that means rethinking kitchen and garden waste as, soil building tools rather than just trash. Why does this ancient wisdom matter today? Well, across the globe, farmers and scientists are turning to biochar again, not just for fertility, but as a solution for degraded land and honestly, even climate change. By locking carbon into the soil instead of letting it escape into the atmosphere, biochar helps reduce greenhouse gases while restoring life to barren ground. For backyard gardeners, the benefit is immediate. You'll see plants growing stronger, soil holding water longer, and garden beds that actually improve instead of wearing out. So, it's really the ultimate example of regenerative gardening. Your soil actually becomes healthier every single year instead of, running dry. The black earth of the Amazon is more than just a story of the past. It's proof that building lasting fertility is possible, even with the simplest tools. The people who created it had no synthetic fertilizers, no packaged products, no modern machinery, just charcoal, scraps, and an understanding of how to partner with microbes. If they could build soil that still thrives after 2,000 years, we can certainly build soil that lasts for our children and beyond. So here's your challenge. Don't just feed your plants this season. Start building soil that will feed your garden for years. Add biochar to your compost. Brew a batch of biochar tea. Mix living carbon into your soil along with organic matter. Watch as your soil grows richer, your plants stronger, and your garden more resilient each season. And remember, this is just the beginning. Every handful of soil you enrich is a gift not just to your plants, but to the future of your garden. If you found this guide valuable, don't forget to subscribe to Crop Corner and share it with fellow gardeners. Together, let's keep this ancient wisdom alive and growing, because the best soil is the one that lasts forever.